Hi, everyone, and welcome to week number 5. All right, so we're in cycle 5, and now we're finally getting into chemistry. So to get down to things and everything, I've got the week 5 trailer right up here. As requested for everybody, it's the same date. So now everybody's doing from 9/28 Monday all the way to Friday is technically when it's going to be. If you can still hand it in till Sunday, I'll still accept it for full credit. But it's technically that week. Monday to Friday is what you're supposed to be doing. So the week 5 trailer is right here at the very beginning. Remember, you can always go down, scroll down, and you can get to some of the older trailers if you still have work that you need to catch up on, because this week is interims are coming out if you're behind. Also under the course materials, right? Here is the week snapshot or the agenda right here for the 5th cycle, right? Or 5th week of school right here. So as you can see, what we're going to do is today's lesson, or the first day's lesson live in class is going to be basically just like an intro to chemistry, intro to what's going on this chapter, because there's a lot of stuff going on this chapter. The second one is we're going to be playing bingo. We're going to be practicing with element symbols because there's a big quiz coming up that you're going to learn about soon here and everything. Then for the asynchronous work, right, that I'm sure you're keeping up with, hopefully you're definitely keeping up with it. Everybody needs to have this done by Friday. There are two short little videos and quizzes for you to take for one day. There's me talking about atoms in a short quiz the next day. Then we'll do a lab for the final lesson that you can do. So the same thing, you watch lab and there's a little quick quiz just to see if you're paying attention. Just like always, to get to all these materials that you need to get all of your work done for the week, there are two ways. You can go through course materials and find it that way. Course materials, let's see here, we're in chemistry, and then we'll be in cycle number 5 right here, so you can get to it that way. Or you can always, if we go back here, let's see, if we go back to it, you can do it the easy way, which is just inside of the actual the agenda right here. You can just click on the direct link, and it takes you right to that same folder. Right inside that folder, there's a whole bunch of stuff for us. Right. First is the weekly checklist. You can click on that if you lost it, but everybody's getting them. They've got all of them. Everybody got them last week. Everyone's getting them again this week. This is a checklist that tells you everything you need to do in science for your asynchronous work. So you can literally, where's the little thing here? You can literally check off if you did each one of your things. So there shouldn't be any question for a while now. Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Check on that weekly checklist right there. There is the research project that I'm going to go over in just a little bit. Same thing. There is a paper that everybody's getting in class. Just in case the dog ate it or you lost it, you can download it right here, this week and everything for us. There's an interactive periodic table, which is just there for research purposes, hence the research project and everything. So you can use this, or you can use any one of millions of other sites on the internet for the research part of it. There is your reading assignment. It's pretty short this time because it's just broken down into this one week and everything. So you read the little section right here, take the quiz about that. So you have that. Like I said, one of the lessons asynchronous is the globulous boracic acid lab. So you can watch the acid lab and answer a couple questions about it. There is a couple short videos. There's origins of the periodic table in a quiz, origins of atoms in a quiz, and then there's me telling you some basic things about atoms, and then same thing, taking the quiz. The quizzes are just, are you paying attention? They're not meant to be particularly difficult or anything like that. Okay, the big things for this chapter, all right, there are a couple things going on this chapter that are unusual compared to normal chapters, right? So there are a couple big things going on this chapter. Right. The first thing is the quiz. The biggest quiz of the year by far is going to be happening this chapter. Right. So we're going to be doing the 40 element quiz. Right. And same thing in class, everyone's getting this piece of paper right here that's got all the elements on it. For the quiz, I'm going to give you on the quiz day the actual elements, so you don't have to remember how to spell hydrogen. But what you do have to remember is the symbol for hydrogen. So you need to know it's capital H. Right, that's the only acceptable answer is just capital H. It can't be lowercase h, it can't be H with anything else in it. If it's another element, let's say helium here, that's got 2 letters to it, the first letter always has to be capitalized. The second letter always has to be lowercase. So for helium, for example, the element symbol is capital H, lowercase e. On the quiz, if you were to give me capital H, capital E, it's still considered to be incorrect, right? So it has to be, it's very, very precise with chemistry, right? So that's the first thing is there's a big quiz coming up. The second thing is going to be, the second big thing is, like I said, on the second day of class, whether you have that on Tuesday or on Friday, we're going to be practicing for that quiz with Element Bingo. So I'm asking everyone to please bring in some kind of placeholder for your bingo chips, because I don't have enough bingo chips for everyone to have a new set for the entire school day. So bring in maybe a bag of dried beans, or maybe if you have bingo chips or some loose change or something like that that you can use as bingo chips, or even just bring in, a piece of paper that you cut up into a, bunch of little pieces, for it. So please bring that in. Right, then the other big project that's going on is the actual research project. On Monday or on Thursday in class, you're going to sign up in class for an element, and you have to do two things with it. You need to you need to fill out the research page, which again, like I showed you, you're going to get it in class, or there's a place where you can download it in this week's agenda. You need to do that, and then you're going to make a project about it also. So whatever element you're going to do, you're going to make a project. Here are some notable ones from the past, like that student had gold. The project just has to do some kind of attribute about the element symbol that you had. This is a student, they had neon, so they kind of tried to make like a fancy neon sign type of thing. Here was a student, they had tin, so they literally decorated a tin can kind of thing. Get it? Iron. Some of them can be really funny. In fact, some of the ones that are really funny are the best ones and everything. This student had fluoride, so they kind of like made a ginormous toothbrush and everything. Helium, right? This one for helium, like a big explosion was going on for it. Some of them, if you don't want to make it funny, you could just be factual, right? The student made a big cube and then put all kinds of facts about their item that was on it and everything. Tungsten used to be in old light bulbs, right? So it can, it's got to be some kind of creative thing. It should be something that you made, so you can still use items, like this student has light bulbs in there and everything, but it doesn't look like they made this on the bus ride into school. That's usually that's the kind of mark of quality that I tell people. If this looks like you built it on the bus ride into school, then it's probably not going to get all the points, right? This one, cobalt, blue paint, all blue paint has cobalt in it. Copper, this student had copper, so they actually built something out of copper, right? Here they had carbon, right? Diamonds are made out of carbon. So, the list could go on and on. Titanium, strontium right here, right? Plutonium, they're using it like a nuclear bomb kind of thing. There's tons and tons of examples. Here's my personal favorite one, calcium right here. So it's got to be some kind of project that looks like you spent a little bit of time building it. And, that way, funner is more funner. More fun is better when you're building these, right? So those are the things that are going on this week in school. The big question everyone's going to ask me is, when are these things due, right? Because you have this big quiz, biggest quiz of the year, and the project. Well, the date is going to be, if you're an A student, October 19th. If you're a B student, it's going to be October 22nd, right? So those will be the days that we're going to take the quiz, and you're going to hand in your projects. Yes, you can hand the projects in early. In fact, sometimes I've been known to give extra credit if you hand the project in early, just so they're not all coming in on one day. All right, hopefully that helps out with everything that's going on for us here, and you're having a great week. Please feel free to let me know if you have any questions in class.